I hope that today finds you and your loved ones well. Welcome back to the podcast, Catch It, A New Perception. Thinking about how we show up sometimes in life. How do we start the day? Is how we start the day as important as anything in your life? For some people it may be. For others it may not. You possibly just wake up with the same routine and almost non-thinking, just roll out of bed and start your day and get going, and away you go, and the day will be what it will. And other people may have a very specific routine upon awakening. I do not talk necessarily a lot about prayer, although I believe prayer is individual. And I believe, my belief is that if you're praying, you are correct. Whether that's to God, Allah, Confucius, Prime Cause, Divine Mind, Buddha, doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, whether it's Christian, Jewish, Muslim, whether it's tribal, any type of faith whatsoever, Taoism, it does not matter. If you are a Buddhist and you walk with a good heart with any of these paths, I believe that they are correct. I believe that a healthy spiritual path will teach you to honor and respect yourself, honor and respect others, and honor and respect the Creator. So the terminology I use, if I speak of prayer or I speak of God, I don't say it to offend people, and I truly don't want it to offend people. I want it to be inclusive. So I may use a term like Creator because it's a terminology that makes sense to me when I speak of the deities that I believe in of God. Upon awakening each morning, I ask the Creator to guide my thoughts, my words, and my actions, and I ask that I be of service to everyone I meet. And a little bit about what that means to me is that I am of service to people in their mind, not in my mind. Because if I am of service to people in my mind, my egotism is still in it, and that I don't need. I need to be clear of any egotism in my life and be of service to who it is that stands in front of me, who it is that sits in front of me, who it is that's been gifted that breath of life today. And I say that because I'm thinking that if we always pray to have eyes that see the best in people, we will be better off. Not that the reality of who someone is should be lost, because I don't believe that it should. When we see the assets in other people, will they see the assets in us? When we look at people in a derogatory way, do they look at us in a derogatory way? When we speak down of people, maybe not even directly to people, say that you're at your place of employment and you're speaking to one person and you're speaking down about another person. That person you're speaking to probably believes, at least subconsciously, this may not be a conscious thought, subconsciously believes that you will speak down of them because that is what you do. This is a whole mindset that can be shifted into the idea that we always pray to see the best in people. I had an elder in my life. He was an incredible man, a great teacher. He made a statement. His name was Joseph. Joseph made a statement. And he said, every thought is a prayer. And I believe the way that I understood that at the time. Now, how he intended it, I didn't ask him for the details of it. I needed to hear it in spirit. And what I heard him say is that I am so connected to the Creator, as each of us are. So he's saying this to everyone when he says it to them. I am so connected to the Creator that every thought is a prayer. I am just that connected. Do you realize that you are connected to your spirit guides that closely? That every thought is a prayer? Maybe it's time to change our thoughts. I know our thoughts are very human. They're very personal. I understand that. For me, I like the idea of my thoughts becoming healthier. For lack of a better term, if you will, more pure. And the reason that I like my thoughts changing and becoming healthier is because I become healthier. Not just because that's a prayer, not just because that thought is a prayer, although I do believe that. I do believe I am that connected. That every thought is a prayer. Same as for every other human being. You are that connected. That every thought is a prayer. I think that it's important that we just get connected to other people. So if we see the best in them, and we understand that we pray to see the best in them, so our thought, in other words, is that we want to see the best in them. Are we able to see that? Or are our thoughts just as derogatory as they once were? Do we think down about people? And therefore we speak down about people? And then people that we express that towards think that we must talk like that about them? And then they have derogatory thoughts about us? Some of this is very subconscious, and it's hard for some people to wrap their head around the fact that this is actually what happens. When you speak highly of people, and you speak about how good people are, then people can't help but to talk about how good you are, how great you are, how incredible you are, if you will, how beautiful you are. Over the last couple of days, I was thinking a little bit about certain terminology I don't like to use. Like saying that somebody is ugly, or any type of terminology like that. And it has to do with the heart. Because when I say that you're a beautiful human being, it has to do with who you are. I don't want to think that someone's ugly. It's not a physical thing. Now, are certain people more attractive to me? Yes. I am physically attracted in my life to women. And so I see a physical attractiveness to certain women throughout my life at different times. And on the other hand, I think of someone like my wife, who I think is incredibly attractive, and she's also a beautiful woman. She carries a good heart. And I think she is incredibly physically attractive. Well, some of that has to do with the fact that I'm in love with this woman. So therefore, I see her as physically more beautiful. So it's easy to say things about people that are close to us to make them sound like they're in a good light in our minds. What about people that we work with? Can we see them in the best light? Because that's what this is really all about. Do we see ourselves in not the best light, and is that why we see other people not in the best of character? Because of what we see in ourselves? Or does it start the other way? We see not the best character out there, and we say something derogatory, and then we reflect that on ourselves? Not sure which came first. Not sure how that all works. I believe that it works together, so that when I do talk about how great people are, and I do see the best in people, and that becomes my prayer, that I see the best in people, and I do that, then I start to see myself differently. I see the best in me, and I haven't always seen the best in me. I've seen some very dark days that are hard to take, where I haven't been grateful for the breath of life, where I didn't know that I wanted to see another day, where things got very dark for me, spiritually, my soul, my mind. And today, things are different than that. And I want things to be different than that in the future. So the best way for me to continue to see things different in the future is seeing things different right here and now. Seeing something different in you. Being able to not just pray to see the best in people, changing it so I only see the best in people. Not to take away from the reality of the darkness of a spirit. I get that. I'm not taking away from that. What I'm saying is, in a general way, to be able to see the best in people. Hearing someone talk down about someone, and then telling everyone else that this person talks down about this person. Or do I hear someone talk down about someone, I dismiss that, and I tell them how great of a job they're doing. And then I tell other people how great of a job this person was doing with this. It's a whole different mindset. I don't know how many people are ready to change it. I don't know if you're willing to or you want to. There's a big difference between wanting to and willing to. If you're willing to, you will change it. If you want to, you will change it. You see, sometimes you can have either, and it can happen. I have been willing to make changes in my life through the willingness of, I say I'm willing to do something that I don't want to do. For example, go back and reconcile with someone when I've done some type of emotional or spiritual damage to them. I have been willing to go back and reconcile that to the best of my ability. I haven't always wanted to walk up and talk of my mistakes with another human being. That, to me, is the simple difference between willingness and wanting to. So if you're willing to, if you want to, you can see the best in people. And then people will see the best in you. Then you will see the best in you. You no longer need to have these derogatory thoughts or this derogatory terminology towards yourself or anyone else. It doesn't need to be there anymore. You have an opportunity to see the world different. You have the opportunity to see yourself different. You have the opportunity to see everything different today. And when you see it different today, you will see it different in the future. And that's what life is all about. Looking forward to next time. Live in harmony with and use the bounty of the land to bring kindness to the world. Doksha, okay.